Now, why should you vote for me for Massillion mayor? First of all, I want to thank everyone now currently serving, and I'd like to thank the mayor. I'd like to thank the council because they have done the best with what they have to work with. Now, where do we go from here? Massillion has many problems, but all of us have plenty of solutions. Where do we go from here? Every one of our problems is based on one common item, and that is the fact that our economy has remained flat for decades in Massillion, Ohio. We've expanded our city, we've reduced our police force, we've expanded so many things, but until we get a hold of economic development, I have a history in sales. I happen to run a small business, which is now just a hot dog business, but I've sold to global companies working for a company called Cytrain that used to be located right here in Massillion, Ohio. And I am proposing, we have a solid plan together for the service side of this venture, but I have a solid proposal, and that is for Massillion mayor to become the salesman of the city. And we will go out and we'll find business, and we'll take care and we'll build this economy, industry, entrepreneurs, and small business. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you to the League of Women Voters and the Massillion Independent and Canton Repository for sponsoring tonight's event. I'm honored to be here tonight to share with you the positive direction our city has taken. 8 years ago, I was honored to become mayor of this great city. Unfortunately, I began my term with only $416.79 and $2.6 million of unpaid bills. Since then, all the directors, the staff, and I have worked diligently to cut expenses, to make sacrifices, to turn Massillion around. Those early years, I can tell you, were extremely difficult, which led the city to being put into fiscal emergency, October 8, 2013. We continued on the path we had set, working hard to become financially stable. And in April 27, 2017, we were released from fiscal emergency. This was a very significant achievement because it showed that all of our hard work had paid off, and we can now stop managing in crisis mode and begin managing day-to-day operations. And although we started off in a disadvantaged position, we now have become financially stable, as many of the current council members have stated. We have a stabilization fund of $390,000 and a 5-year financial plan. We have reliable vehicles because we put in place a vehicle replacement program with vehicle maintenance as well. And our administration was the first to enact that. We are paving our roads. Do you realize that in the past 8 years, we were able to put down $10 million of pavement on our roads? And we replaced catch basins to the amount of $2.5 million. Emergency services will soon be back in our city as we work to bring Massillion, an outstanding facility, to our community. We continue. Today, we work with Stark Economic Development Company as well as Massive Development Foundation to bring new businesses and jobs to our community. We also work with the state to open up Millennium Boulevard to bring in E-Tank, a new business that was in Masson that was needing more room. This includes a grant that we use to revitalize our downtown with our Imagine Masson project. We placed 91 of our buildings that took 1.5 years on the National Registry of Historic Places, so now that developers can access historic and federal tax credits. These and other projects are economic development tools to transform Massillion, both in our city as well as our downtown. This is a very exciting time for Massillion. I am proud of the work that we have accomplished together, and I ask for your vote on November 5th. Thank you.
Mr. Haavisto, questioner requested a yes or no answer, but I will let you decide if you want to expound at all. But please answer yes or no. If elected mayor, is it an option for you to close the Legends Golf?
Close the Legends Golf course, not once. We would look to privatize it if at all possible, if we can find a qualified buyer and achieve the right amount of money from it. Someone that has the investment amount to put a good clubhouse and party center in so they can use it for catering and actually keep a restaurant that's open. So when you finish a golf game, you can go get a burger and not have to run away from the golf course. So yes, we will look at every option that's on the table because we are not done with the financial situation of the city. The golf course, we have paid $500,000 per year continually, and we'll continue to do that for approximately 7 more years. We have subsidized golf for a minority of people, and that is not acceptable. I live in the Southeast End. I've lived there for the last 17 years.
Time's up, sir.
The ideas have come from business people and avid golfers in the Legends, and we are working on a proposal for that, so that's our initial plan. Thank you.
Thank you. The other candidate for mayor is welcome to respond if she so desires. And it's 1 minute, is that right, folks?
Excuse me, I'm fighting a cold. We have worked to make the Legends profitable, and it is now profitable. With the Tama Center Golf Course that is closed down, we added on 11 more leagues, and that's really our goal, is to make it profitable and actually help it to pay the debt. So above the operations, we move that money over to help pay for the debt. One thing that I actually was going to do this year is to add $100,000 or maybe more to go from the general fund to go towards that debt, so that the Parks and Rec are not paying all of that. And it really is unfair that they are paying all of that, but because of the financial position that we were in when I first arrived, there was no other option. And so what we'd like to do is slowly, gradually inch that up so that the general fund is at least paying half of that.
2 questions. They both relate to the same issue. Our resi was an asset any city would love to have. We can still have 5 acres of 10 feet of water. Our watershed gives us 17 square miles of clean water. Will you support giving us back our resi? And the second question, what do you plan to do with the resi?
Topic inside and out. So the reservoir was a 2-decade-old problem. I don't know if everyone understands that. When I came into office, we received a letter from ODNR, and we applied for a grant to attack the resi problem. And we were not successful in getting that grant. Now, remember my earlier comments, we were $2.6 million of unpaid bills and $400 in the checkbook. So we didn't have funds to move forward to fix the resi. I will tell you that someone made a call to ODNR and gave them a heads up that this problem was lingering. And so they called us and immediately said, you must drop it, in which we did do that. And we did do a survey, but the survey was not taken by many people. So we had 3 options. We couldn't choose any of those options. So what we did was comply with ODNR's recommendations. The Park and Rec Board is an autonomous board. They have the opportunity to do anything they would like to do with the reservoir. Thank you.
You chose to have a tax specifically for parks. And each one of you that voted for that, part of that was the promise that we would take care of the resi and the dam and the maintenance. Now, it's a little disingenuous to keep on saying that the ODNR demanded. No, the ODNR notified, gave us almost 3 decades, at least 2 decades to deal with it, and 2 administrations and council ignored that over time. I'm sorry, but those are the facts. You paid for the resi, you deserve a body of water back in there. We do not have to go back under ODNR. It can be a smaller body of water, but we want to restore it as close as possible to the original reservoir. Yes, I got engaged there to my wife on the little bridge before, when you used to be able to drive through the water in 1985, but that's not it. The fact is, you have paid for that reservoir, you have paid for that pond, and that to be the gold gem. And we need to restore the reservoir as close as we can. Thank you.
We can't ask any more questions that would involve all of the council candidates, but do want to acknowledge the audience for putting forth some questions that mention Duncan Plaza, mention the hospital, lots of questions about economic development. So we would encourage anybody to talk to the specific ward candidates, council at large, or mayors in a different form to get the specific question answered. To the mayor and her opponent. Too many college graduates are leaving the area, not feeling that there's something here for them, resulting in what many people call brain drain. What are you doing Ms. Mayor, or what would you do, Mr. Haavisto, to work with an economic director to bring economic development to the area and attract high-paying jobs?
Again, as I stated, the number one thing I will do as mayor, first of all, the service side of the city is a big project, and I have spoke with many candidates of gentlemen that are ready to take and ladies that are ready to take that job, and we will turn. First thing we'll do so we can concentrate on economic development. We would turn over the safety service director, would go to Joe Herrick, retired Massillion police officer. It was my pleasure to get to know him, and he has come to the top of our list for safety service director. But directly, we would go out and recruit companies, and it is true, my daughter herself did not move back to Massillion, but ended up going to Columbus to find a job when she came back from Japan. She is educated from the University of Mount Union. So we're going to go out, work with a new development person, and we're going to recruit companies. We're going to encourage entrepreneurship, which can be just as profitable. And we can also, not just manufacturing, but we have to begin to focus on IT-type jobs. We had IT jobs here at one time, and they have left our city and gone to Belden Village, and that's a shame because we didn't know what to do with them.
I love this question because ever since I became the mayor, we've been working on economic development. The first year I was in office, we visited 52 of our businesses to ask them to stay here and retain them in our city. Not only did we do that, but we asked them, how can we help you to grow? So we've been working on economic development for the entire time that I've been here. This sheet that I have right here, from 2012 until now, and this is just a quick list, 86 new businesses to Massillion. Out of those, the past 8 years, we gave out $266,000 to businesses to help them to grow or to come to Massillion. I sit on the Strengthening Start Governance Board. I'm working to help retain our young people to this community. I have 6 children and 5 grandchildren. It's very important that we provide jobs for each one of them. Thank you.
You out of time?
I think we're out of time,
Thank you, Rick.
but we want to thank everyone for coming tonight. You have asked some great questions. I wish we could have gotten to all of them, and you've been great. Thank you very much. Drive safely home.